Hello there, Aries. This is Sophie with Lady of the Unknown Oracle. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with us. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you are returning, thank you so much for all of your love and support. I appreciate it so much. Guys, we're going to go ahead and get straight into your reading, all right? So this is for April 2019. Please keep in mind that the reading is general and it may not reflect your current situation, but I do recommend revisiting the reading at the end of the month, just in case your situation changes. I also recommend taking a look at last month's reading, because if last month's reading is a reflection of what you're going through now, then this reading today will be more or less of an indication of what's coming in for you. All right, so this is also a general reading in the sense that this is not limited to love, career, finance, anything of that nature, transformation, self-love. It can apply to anything that you are currently going through, anything. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Now, Aries, we need to talk. We need to talk because you're not talking enough. Seven of Pentacles, you're waiting. All right, you're getting really impatient. But here's the thing, Aries, with exactly. Listen. In your pre-shuffle, you had the Two of Wands with the World card with the King of Pentacles. You are either dealing with someone, look at this. You are either dealing with someone who is a huge supporter of you in what you're trying to achieve in terms of stability, whether that's financial, career, love, whatever that stability looks like for you. Someone here is either trying to support you and you don't believe that you can achieve it, or there is someone in your environment who is trying to make you think you can't achieve it. Because a decision here has to be made. It feels like you're trying to balance it, like you're trying to balance something, either pros and cons to something, either pros and cons to something, or just a decision period. Like a big decision, like between multiple offers of something. It feels here like you have decisions to make. And you know what you want, but for some reason you're hesitating and you're not pursuing it. This is the third time I'm trying to film your reading, because as I started pulling the cards out, I couldn't formulate my thoughts. And there were a handful of swords that came out. Okay, the Five of Swords came out, the Eight of Swords came out, the Three of Swords came out, the Ten of Swords came out. So this is a lot of thought, Aries. You're in your head a lot, okay? This has a lot to do with stability, practical matters here of the 3D world. All right, so whether that applies to your current relationship, how things are going to pan out in the future, whether your plans are compatible, or if this has to do with career, you know, where are you going to take it now? What do you want your progress to look like? There's a need here. This is you with the Fool energy, with the Knight of Pentacles. So you're here ready to make a big decision, right? You're ready to change your life, is what it feels like. You're ready to turn a new leaf. But how do you do that? Right? Maybe you already have planted the seeds for this growth, and things are slowly building, but you're frustrated with how long it's taking. Maybe you're tired of waiting altogether and you're going to pursue something different. Right? There's something really burdensome about this leap of faith. It's like you know that you want to make progress, or maybe you know that you are currently making progress towards what it is you want to achieve, that stability. But you're becoming super impatient. And I can't tell if the impatience is coming from your expectation that things should be going faster, or if you thought you wanted to tag along to see how this thing or this process would pan out, but it actually turns out you really don't. Like you planted the seed, you watched it grow, but now that it's taking so long and you're kind of eyeballing other opportunities, you're like, I don't know, like I wanted it back then, and I know I've made a lot of progress at work or in school or making this money, but the truth is I don't think I want to keep studying this thing, or I don't know if I want to keep up with this job, or you get what I'm saying? There's a feeling of having invested a lot of time into something, but now wanting to make a decision that affects it. All right, this could be a person as well. You could be dealing with another Aries, an earth sign as well. So far, a lot of earth. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, but the Ten of Wands here is you carrying some type of burden, the need to make a decision. the need to make a really important, big decision. Let's hope my words come out a little bit better this time. Overarching energy is the Chariot. Could be dealing with a Cancer, Knight of Cups, more water energy, okay? So this could be, this is strong Cancer, but Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. All right, so you could have Cancer in your chart, right, Aries? You could have Cancer in your chart, and for you, this is really a matter of gaining emotional stability, regaining your emotional stability. There could be something about this process so far that has taken away from your ability to really tap into your feelings in a way that's healthy. Because I'm getting confusion here. Yes, Ace of Pentacles is your current situation. That's what I'm saying. So there's a new beginning. There's a new beginning here. A new beginning needs to, you know, you've been manifesting this. Wow. Okay, so your current position is the Ace of Pentacles, being crossed by the Page of Cups. On your mind is the Six of Swords. In your heart is the Two of Cups. In the recent past was the Ace of Swords. Coming in is the Tower. You see yourself as the Queen of Swords. In your environment is the Page of Pentacles. Your fear here is the King of Wands. Someone else also had this. I believe it was Virgo. And in the potential outcome, you've got the King of Cups. So if this is you, the individual, and for you, this is literally just you having difficulties driving the thoughts going on in your head, it looks to me like you will most likely be achieving you're going to master your feelings, essentially. Something's going to happen and something's going to click, okay? Because we've got the Tower moment here coming in. The Tower moment coming in is a huge epiphany. It could also be the destruction of something, an old structure that did not have a strong foundation. Right, something that would not have stood the test of time anyway. This could be an old belief system. It could be old behaviors that were once very harmful to you. It could be a partnership. All right, we've got multiple cards here. We do have the Two of Cups here in your heart space as well. All right, so we've got two aces. We've got the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Tower. We've got a brand new beginning. I'm getting that even though, you are fire, I feel like this Page of Pentacles here in the environment is really you, the need to study something, the need to focus more of your time and energy into kind of like relearning the basics of something. So we're going to go ahead and clarify. But you want to transition out of something. You want to transition out of an old way of thinking, is what it feels like to me. I feel like the way you are thinking is affecting the way you're feeling. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So overarching energy for the clarifiers. Death, absolutely. This is, I will call out groupings, Aries, where I see it. All right, I'll call out groupings for love and career where I see it, but I feel like this is highly transformative. Two of Cups to me, it is, okay, it is a partnership card. However, because of this transformation that you're going through, I feel very pulled to say that, Two of Cups, when it doesn't involve a partnership, is a choice in love, right? The twos represent choices. So a choice in love, a choice to love yourself, a choice to bring an end to old ways of being, shed the old skin and usher in this new beginning that is meant for you and has been long overdue. I feel like somewhere along the way you convinced yourself that you weren't capable. I felt like you weren't, like maybe you thought you weren't capable, and that has affected your thoughts up to this point, and now it's affecting your feelings, and now that it's affecting your feelings, right, it's affecting the passion that you have. You are driven by your passions, but when your emotions, are starting to eat away at just your everything, right? When you can't really connect, because your passion is that instantaneous, it's emotion, but it's forceful emotion. It's intense. So when your emotions are giving you negative indications for something that you in your mind really want, or in your mind know you deserve, there's the emotional disconnect is a very, very powerful disconnect to have with you, where you're driven by your passions. Because then what happens? Now you lose your passion, and now you lose your motivation, you lose your inspiration. Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles here, this is a new beginning. Ace of Wands, exactly. You're at a point right now where there's a new beginning being presented to you, And if this isn't a new beginning, this is multiple beginnings. All right, multiple opportunities to begin again. Because again, with the death, this is rebirth. Okay, this is a process. Things are moving along. Things are in progress. Seven of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands. There's progress. There's growth. Okay, so it's feeling to me there could be even 7 different options. You might be at a point right now where in order to move forward in the way that you want, in passion, in creativity, in motivation, in inspiration, in optimism, right, with the Ace of Wands, in order for you to get your power back, there's a decision here that you have to make. And it could be that you have so many decisions, you want to make it all happen all at once. I think Sagittarius may have had a similar reading, Aries. In case you have Sag in your chart, I believe they had something similar where they just wanted to make everything happen all at once, and it's just you have to work on one thing at a time. If that's where you're at and you have multiple options and you have multiple decisions that you could make, and you're trying to make multiple things happen right now, Aries, pick one thing and really chip away at that. That's where your aces, right? This is singular. Right now we've got 3 out of the 4 aces present. This is singular. These are new beginnings, but they're also very big beginnings that require your nurturing and focus. You can't focus on one pentacle when you're stretching yourself thin over 5, 6, 7 pentacles. Focus on one thing at a time to get your motivation back. All right? Dedicate yourself, commit yourself. With the Page of Cups, so that's what we have challenging it. There could be a water sign that's in your environment. Okay, even though in the environment we've got a Page of Pentacles, this to me indicates that someone here is either helping you get better at studying, or someone here is a friend and is supporting you. But here, crossing this, if that is not the case, right, and the person you're dealing with is a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have strong Scorpio here with the Tower. And with the King of Cups, actually. That's strong Scorpio energy, and Cancer strong here as well. This is someone who wants to support you, and sorry, washer going off. So it feels to me like this person wants to support you. All right, they see that you're at a point now where you're trying to make a decision. It feels like you're at a crossroads. You really do have a big decision to make. This person here is trying to support you in that. If that's not the case, okay, then this is somebody who you are trying to decide whether their offer to you is big enough to have a new beginning. Because in your heart, you do want the 2 of Cups. You do want partnership. All right, and just right off the bat from what I'm seeing so far, if this is the case and for you this is love, with the King of Cups showing up in the outcome, depending on what clarifies it, of course. But so far, it looks to me like a very positive indication that this person, whereas maybe in the past they've offered you an apology or they've offered you some type of small token of emotion that maybe you were kind of like, 2 of Wands, do I really want to pursue this? Right? They offered you this pentacle. There's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of it makes sense to be with this person. You guys have a lot of things in common and stuff like that. And maybe you're kind of like rubbing your chin, right? You're like, oh, I don't really know. Don't know about you, water sign. After this Tower moment, after certain things transpire, this person will come to you with a very serious offer and will be fully transparent with you in terms of emotion. Maybe before they were kind of unsure of their emotions, or maybe they just didn't know how to adequately express their emotions. Towards the end, after this Tower moment, which will clarify what that is, after that point, this person will evolve to a point that is acceptable. Now, I feel like it's very necessary at this point to say that if this is you, okay, because for me, this is a personal journey for the most part. I feel like most of you Aries are, while you could be coupled and you could be having issues with other people, I feel like this is highly internal. This is what's going on inside you, in your mind and your heart, your internal environment. It's necessary to also point out that because we do have a lot of water, you could have water in your chart, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, okay, because I was having a hard time talking before. when I was trying to read your cards the first 2 times. Right? There could be a difficulty in expressing your emotions because your thoughts are just so out of whack, and it's all connected. All of that is interconnected inside of us. So where one thing falters, the rest of it's like a domino effect. The rest of it also falls. So you could have water in your chart as well. All right. So on your mind is the 6 of Swords, Queen of Swords. You've got here twice as also how you're viewing yourself. You need to make a decision, Aries. You're at a point now where you're realizing that in order to get out of the rut you're stuck in, you have to start being decisive. You have to start making decisions. In the past, maybe you were able to cope with what you have perceived up to this point as your shortcomings or your limitations. I feel like they're all self-imposed. I'm just going to say that first of all. I think that all of what you've been thinking about up to this point is not that you're not capable. It's that you're just, it's going to require you to put in work that you thought you were done with, is what it feels like. Like, it feels to me like maybe you worked on something really, really hard. You worked on something very hard in the past, and you thought, okay, my dues have been paid. But they haven't. And now you have to kind of revisit the drawing board. You have to start over, or, you know, you have to resume a project that you thought was already handled. You thought that something was already in motion. Turns out you have to go back to it. And it almost feels like a frustration, right? Like it should be done by now. Or why do I have to go back to this again? Like a revisiting of something. Okay? So maybe in the past, that was something that you thought was already kind of dealt with. And now you're like, okay, no, this isn't going away. Waiting is really just doing nothing at this point, right? Waiting is not doing anything. Nothing's really growing much anymore, or it is, but at a snail's pace. And I know it can go so much faster if I just invest more time and energy into this. And even though I don't want to, it's kind of hard to ignore at this point because now everything else in my life is being affected by it. Because your mind is on it now, Aries. Like, there was so much air energy coming out in the pre-shuffle for you, so many swords. Your thoughts are so consumed in what's happening. In your heart space, you've got the Two of Cups. Yeah, this could be a partnership. For those of you who are dealing in love or career and finance, right? You could have a partnership here with someone that you thought was your equal, and things are now beginning to look a little imbalanced. With the Two of Swords having come out as well in your pre-shuffle with the World card, this could be that someone here has gotten the opportunity to travel, which would cause a separation here in the partnership. This is a new opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles. It's someone's wish, though. It's someone's beginning to flourish and come into their own, all right? So if you have someone that you are in partnership with and you're feeling kind of like, well, I thought we were going to do this together, right? Because what's making this difficult is that this person who's very sweet and kind and a friend, someone that you feel emotionally connected to, someone who in the past you've had a very fair feeling, creative, right? Water is also creative, a creative, emotional, authentic, equal relationship. This is someone that, you know, is now either making a choice, or you feel like now because they're making a choice, it's kind of like they have to choose this other thing or this other person over you. And it's making you really anxious because you don't really, you know, you're trying to, in your thought space, you're trying to move away from this need, this poking feeling that you have of like having to put your foot down. And you're like, no, I'll let them make this decision. Again, very strong Cancer and Scorpio here. You know, no, I'll let them make the decision. Let me take my mind off of this. I'll let them handle this. Right? But in terms of your emotion, right, you want to feel harmonious. You want to feel like you're getting back what you're putting in. You want to feel like your love and affection is being reciprocated, or that your creativity, your half of the creativity, or your half of this relationship, romantic or otherwise, is being reciprocated. And something here is jeopardizing that. Someone's need to make a decision is jeopardizing that in some way. In the recent past, you have the Ace of Swords with the Eight of Swords. I'm telling you guys, there's so much air. So much air. This is all of your thoughts, okay? It's just, you need to stop it. You need to stop it, Aries. So with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords, okay, this is your recent past. Again, if this isn't resonating for you right now, check out last month's reading, because if that one does, then this is what's going to be coming in for you very shortly. This recent past here is about to come in for you in your immediate future. This Ace of Swords with the Eight of Swords, coming out of self-limitation, coming out of self-doubt, a self-imposed prison in your mind. You're telling yourself, it's negative self-talk. You're telling yourself, I can't do it, or this is hell. Why is this happening to me? This is whatever. Ace of Swords says you're going to realize that you have been doing this to yourself. You're going to come to a point, Aries, where you're going to realize that there is actually nothing here that's hurting you. You're doing all of this to yourself. Nothing about what's happening right now is intrinsically bad. It might be annoying. It might be frustrating. It might be something you wish you didn't have to repeat. It could be something that you wish you didn't have to confront, period. But it's here. You understand? It's here. And you're going to realize that all of the suffering that you've been doing and all of the negative self-talk you've been giving has been working against you this whole time. All right? You're going to realize it. The Ace of Swords is divine clarity. Something or someone is going to explain something to you, or an epiphany is what's coming in for you. Let's clarify that. Three of Swords, breaking hearts. Five of Cups, something from the past. The Chariot, moving past what you have been doing to yourself in the past. Five of Cups, okay? Five of Cups in this particular deck, this person is looking at the Two of Cups, which is also in your heart space, okay? They're focusing more on the partnership. They're focusing more on what they still have left instead of the Three Cups that are drifting away. Okay, the Five of Cups is a silver linings card. All right, what's coming in here with the Tower, the Three of Swords being a heartbreak, a betrayal. It could be third party. Okay, we do have multiple court cards, a lot of court cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, Chariot being another sign, you know, coming up twice here. 6, we have a lot of people involved, so this could have something to do with a three-party situation, all right, involving a Cancer. If you have Cancer in your chart, then this is you engaged in a third-party situation, and someone in your environment is feeling like they need to make a choice because something has come out of harmony, and they are very much in their thoughts. They could be at this point very suspicious of you. All right, or vice versa. This could be someone else who you suspect is in a three-party situation, and it's killing you because you either have a feeling or you know for a fact that at the very least, even if they're not engaging in third-party behavior, you're not happy with the current situation, and you're at a point now where you want to make a decision. You want to start a new beginning somewhere else because you are tired of what's happening. Again, you're going to reach clarity. Something here has been keeping you locked in, a train of thought. You have been keeping yourself in this place where you know you can have more, you know you can have a new beginning, you know you can work, you can outgrow this situation and start over. But you are almost putting the responsibility to make that decision in someone else's hands. Like you want someone else to be the bad guy. You don't want to assume responsibility for all of this. You would rather someone else take the rap for you. So that way you don't have to go back and have to do all of this over again. Right? But you need to take control now, because if you leave it the way it is, I'm telling you, based on what I see, the movement here is extremely slow. The movement here is extremely slow. You are feeling burdened by how slowly this is moving, and there's no real catalyst. The Chariot is very fast, but the Chariot here for me is clarifying how quickly this Tower moment is going to be coming in. The realization, the only thing that's coming in quickly here is in your head. Again, it's the clarity that there is something here that needs to be done and only you can do it. That's what's coming in fast. Okay? It could be as well with the Tower, and if you are dealing with another person who's in a three-party situation who is Cancer or has heavy Cancer in their chart, it could be that you are going to be overcome with disappointment because you're going to realize that they have been in a three-party situation all along. This three-party situation doesn't have to involve people, mind you, okay? It doesn't have to involve 3 people. It could involve any other thing, any other element in their life that they are prioritizing over you. It could be a three-party situation with work, with friends, with anything else, with a hobby, right? Anything where they are telling you that you are their main priority, but meanwhile you see that they're investing their time and energy into something or someone else, that is the third party. So it could be also that with a Cancer, heavy Cancer doesn't have to be. You will very quickly find out that there has been something that they did not, that you don't really appreciate very much. Three of Swords doesn't have to be three-party. It's just a betrayal. It's a heartbreak. Something that didn't meet your expectations, you find out, and you are just, it kills you. Right? 5 of Cups, you start thinking about all the past investments that you made, and you're like, you know what, I'm out of here. Chariot, you get out. Movement forward. Very swift movement forward. So this could be separating yourself from a hazardous connection with another person. A betrayal could be a business partnership as well, where they weren't honest, they weren't truthful. You had an inkling about it, you didn't say anything, but now something happens, boom, divine intervention with the Tower, and it says, you know what, either you realize that you've been getting sold short, or you find out that someone hasn't been keeping their word and something is revealed. And there's movement out of it now. Either the movement is the clarity in your own mind, where things are now making sense enough where you now feel motivated to move forward, or the actual separation, the physical, practical separation here, moving out, or initiating some type of divorce, or initiating a separation, or initiating some kind of distance now that you have between yourself and the situation that came crumbling down. Okay, so with the Tower here, I feel like for a lot of you this is deeply internal. So regardless of who you're dealing with, it's going to unlock whatever has been keeping you trapped in your mind. Queen of Swords is how you see yourself, needing to make a decision because you're lacking. If this is finances for you, you're making the hard decisions because you realize you just can't go on like this. You really can't. Depending on this other person, or doing things the way you've always been doing them because you don't want to go back to have to redo things, you have to go back because you're feeling now like you're the only person who can deal with this. For a fact you're the only person that can deal with this. Okay, the Page of Pentacles is in your environment. The Devil. I knew that was going to come out. You could be dealing with a Capricorn as well. We've got strong air with the Queen of Swords, all right? So you could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But the Page of Pentacles with the Devil is either a Capricorn that you're dealing with who could help you with this new beginning. Okay, this could be a friend. This could be somebody who is really trying to help you through this. Or it could be that what is keeping you from really, really starting again with this new beginning is this doubt, self-imposed prison, this feeling like you can't do it. The voice in your head saying, Aries, we've already been here. Like, why do you have to go back? Right? We've already been through this. Like, why do we have to keep revisiting this? People don't know how to uphold their responsibility, or, do people just, they don't realize that the time is of the essence. And Aries, it doesn't even matter who you try to blame at this point, because the truth is, by not dealing with this, it's affecting your life, and it's because you're not making a decision. You can't blame it. Finding someone to blame isn't going to make them bow down to your feet and say, okay, I'm going to take care of this. No. If you are noticing that there is something out of whack, something is out of alignment, something is not working for you, you have to take responsibility and say, look, this wasn't my fault, this wasn't what I asked for, but this is my situation now, and I need to clean up this mess. And be the boss that you are. This isn't a matter of blaming anybody. This isn't a matter of, who can I get to clean this up because it's their fault. Whoever is here is not concerned with how they're going to make anything up to you. No one here is concerned about how this is affecting you. You are seeing yourself as needing to mentally distance yourself from what's happening, because whatever is happening here is instigating the need to make a very tough decision to start over. And what has been keeping you from this new start is the fact that you've been asking yourself if this is really what you can do. It's not even if this is what you want to do. You want to do it, but the question here is, am I capable of doing this? Am I capable of doing this? Is this really part of my plan? Is this really something that I need to do? And you're realizing that in order for you to have what you want, to have this inner balance, either within a partnership or in yourself, in order to reestablish this emotional balance, yes, you must. You must. There is no way around it now. And if that's not something you see now, that's a realization that's going to come hitting you with the power of the Tower and the Ace of Swords. And with the Chariot twice. Coming in either so fast that you're going to be like, how did I miss it? Or something that's going to come to you so hard that it's going to make you leave the situation as quickly as you possibly can, given that while you have this realization, you're still in a 3D world where you have certain things that you have to do, certain barriers you have to go over in the appropriate ways. But in your environment here, I feel like this is you. This is you, or this is someone else trying to help you, a Capricorn trying to help you. This could also be a partnership, all right, where you're trying to make a partnership that is toxic for you. You're trying to find a way to make it work, when in reality you realize that you've been in a place now where you've been isolated, alone, you haven't felt in union with this person for a long time. Something about the connection makes you anxious, it keeps you up at night. Again, three-party, they're at the very least, if there's not another individual, they're just not distributing their time the way they promised. You were supposed to be the priority, or something here was supposed to look a certain way. An agreement, a commitment to you was supposed to look a certain way. And you have this ability now, this opportunity to move forward with a new beginning, one that you feel very passionate about. But there's a decision that you have to be made. Did you make the right choice by accepting their apology, right? Or by accepting their love offer, right? The page of cups is here, but this page of cups and the king of cups may not be the same person. This could be someone that you gave a second chance to because they apologized to you and you were convinced, okay, you know, maybe they changed their ways. But then you've come into this place now where you're just like, you know what, I don't even know if I could really trust them again. I don't really know if I can trust them again. The King of Wands here with the Seven of Wands, your fear with the King of Wands and the Seven of Wands that you're fighting, if this is a fire sign, right? If this was an apology made by someone who is a fire sign or has heavy fire in their chart, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, your fear here is either that you have been fighting for this person and that was the wrong decision to make, right? Or you, right? This could be you, that you have just been fighting for the wrong things all along. Or even more difficult to swallow, if you've been fighting off your own blessings. Have you been true to yourself, or have you been resisting the urge to act in your power? Because there's a lot, you know, again, you've got a lot of sword energy here, right? You do have fire here, but you have sword and earth energy here, water. Like, I'm not seeing too many wands here. You haven't been in your power. You haven't been in your power. So have you been true to yourself recently, Aries? Or have you been trying to keep to a standard that's not really reasonable for you? Right? Have you been trying to force yourself to fit a mold that isn't yours for whatever reason? Have other people convinced you that somehow being yourself is wrong? Again, now is really a time to reflect. Okay, now's the time to reflect if that resonates with you, if you have not been true to yourself. If your fear here is that you've been fighting for the wrong person, we'll clarify this King of Cups now to see if we can connect that with this Page of Cups here. We've got the Hierophant. You guys could be married, so they could be connected. Three of Pentacles, you've got a partnership, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so for those of you who are in a partnership, all right, this is definitely either in business or a marriage. With the Knight of Cups coming out, if you have suspicions here that this particular person is engaged in some type of three-party behavior, I am not going to overlook the fact that we have 2 3s and many court cards here. All right, along with the 5 of Cups, you know, you're highly suspicious. You're feeling like you need to make a decision. I say that if they're not in a three-party situation, they probably were in the past, especially with the Knight of Wands, in and out, just player-like energy. This person is very good at controlling their emotions. The King of Cups is very good at expressing their emotions, but they're very good at controlling their emotions. And that could mean that they know what to say and when to say it and when to withdraw their emotions. With the Knight of Wands, they could actually, if that's not the case, right, and they are not engaging in extramarital, engagement, right? They're not doing any other activities outside of the marriage. If that's not the case, then they don't know how to talk about their emotions. One day they're up, one day they're down. So you're trying to work really hard. You feel a divine connection with them. The Hierophant is a spiritual connection as well. If it's not a marriage, right? You guys are just in a long commitment, a long-standing commitment together. And you're cooperating. You're trying to be a team right now. But what's standing in the way of that is someone here just doesn't know how to talk about their emotions. Well, or maybe they know how to talk about their emotions, but they feel one emotion now, and in 30 minutes they feel a different emotion. And it's making you feel like you have to become, like, in order for you to deal with this other person, in order for you to deal with this person in all of the different ways that their emotions and inner state can fluctuate, you have to always be on your toes. Like, it feels like you don't know who you're really with, and you're always walking on eggshells because they could be super nice to you right now, and then in an hour start complaining about how, you haven't washed the dishes yet, or how, they're hungry and they want you to make them food, or, selfish energy, just energy here where one day they're up, one day they're down. You don't know who you're with, right? There's too much change within this person, and you're trying to make it work, but it's, you may have accepted an apology from them in the past, and this is kind of where you're at. You're trying to make things work. If you need confirmation that this person is a very up and down, in and out type of person, I would definitely confirm that for you. If the part of this reading that resonates very strongly for you is the fact that you have been very suspicious, I would say they are most likely engaged in some type of three-party situation where it could be, there's, there are a lot of people here, guys. I can't even deny there are a lot of people here. So this person could be a player for real. This person could just know how to speak. They just know how to speak to you, is what it is. They know how to speak to your heart. But at the same time, a lot of air energy too. You could be dealing with an air sign. Okay, you could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So this person just could know how to speak to you, and in the meantime have been promising, like, hey, I'll contribute to my part of the relationship, and maybe they have been, but you're just like, see, but you're too emotionally distant. Like, I try to engage with you in ways that a couple should, and you're not all there. You're just not all there. I want you here with me, but you're always thinking about something else, or your phone is always nearby and you don't want me to look at it, and something like that. That could also apply as well for a partnership. Okay, so if you're not in a romantic partnership, you have someone here who you're in business with, but they're flaky, they're fickle, they're in and out. They know what to say. They don't lack tact at all. They know exactly what they're doing, but you have suspicions. You have really, really big suspicions that they're up to something, that they're not staying to their word. All right, and I'm seeing that. There's toxicity, there's lack, there's financial loss. There's disappointment. You're trying to create distance between yourself and another person or another situation. If this is you, Aries, if all of this is just you, you're breaking your own heart, baby, okay? You're breaking your own heart. You really need to try to reflect, sit down, ask yourself who you are. And if you don't know who you are, who do you want to be? And that's going to give you a good starting point, okay? Because how I just got through telling those people who are in a partnership who this other person, who the characteristics that surround this other person, that's what I'm seeing with you too. If you're not dealing with another person, this is you, the individual, and you have Cancer somewhere in your chart, or you have a lot of water or a lot of air in your chart, this is you not knowing which direction you're going into. You're trying to make multiple things happen, or at the very least, you haven't been staying true to your path. You feel very out of alignment. You're trying, maybe you're very good at making money, but the part that's missing here is the emotional aspect. Or maybe you suspect that even though you're doing well financially, you're not holding up your end of the bargain to another element of your life that's really calling for your attention. You don't know what to do with that because it's already been addressed in the past maybe, and you don't want to have to revisit it. Something like that. But there is a commitment here, okay? There is a commitment here. There is a desire for a commitment at the very least, a partnership within yourself, harmony, again, harmony, teamwork. You could be, you are your own worst enemy at this point. With the Eight of Swords, the Devil, okay? The Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, Three of Swords, you're tortured. You're tortured, okay? You need to take a moment, Aries. You need to take a moment, all right? Even if there's other people involved, if not, and this is you, or you're out of alignment, something here is completely out of balance, guys. Something is completely out of balance. Either there's a financial loss here. If finances is important for you, there's a financial loss here. And the only way you can actually come out of it is with consistent communication about emotions and creativity, all right? How you distribute the projects or what part of the project someone else gets. There's a lot of discontent right now if that's your situation and you guys are working in a group setting. Someone is extremely unhappy with the station they've been given. There's a need here that if you want to make it happen and you want to achieve success, you have to dial back and see who's doing what and make sure that everyone is okay with that. With the Hierophant, we do have a business. But with the Knight of Wands, you could have a fire sign as well who's just really, really not having it. And it's going to reflect. It's going to reflect. It's going to reflect. Something here is going to come out mediocre. It's going to reflect if you don't address it. And it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It could be someone who just has a lot of energy, right? Embodies those characteristics. A younger person who's just very full of life. Maybe when you give them this part of the project, they are just like, you know what, I really didn't want this. And if they verbalize that with you and you ignore them, because you are the King of Cups, for example, you're the one that's in charge. You get to distribute the creative aspects of this project. and you put your foot down and you're like, no, you don't get to have that part, it's going to reflect. They might do their best to work under the circumstances, but they're not happy about it. All right. But yeah, in order to cooperate, in order to make this commitment work, in order to make this partnership work, in order to make, in order to reestablish this harmony, you have to respect the nature of all of this. You have to look and say, look, there is nothing intrinsically negative about what I'm going through. This just happens. Especially Aries, if this was something that you didn't want to happen, it's more important than ever to realize that things in life happen even when you don't want them to. And that's what happens. You are more than capable of taking care of the situation and cleaning the situation up. I understand it might get in the way of where you wanted to be right now, in terms of finances, in terms of romance, in terms of your career partnerships, in terms of school. This could be something that you're just like, this is not in my plan. Aries, it doesn't matter that this wasn't part of your plan. It does not matter. Okay? It's here, and the only person that can handle this is you. I'm not seeing that anyone here is too worried about apologizing, or anyone here is too worried about trying to recoup. Someone may have apologized here, but I'm seeing that you made a decision about that apology, or their apology, or their offer of commitment, or their offer of emotional communication, just instigated this need to make some type of decision. But again, the decision is yours. So no matter which way you flip it, you have to confront whatever this person is, or this circumstance, or this financial situation. Only you can handle this situation. Okay? And yes, you might feel burdened, and you might feel like this is unfair, and you might feel like, well, why do I do what I do then if this kind of stuff is just going to keep on happening? That's a fantastic question. And that's why you need to make sure that you always know why you're doing what you're doing. So when situations like this happen, you're like, okay, look, it happened, but I'm doing this because, I want to be the best professional in my field, and my future self, who is the best professional in this field, what would they do in this situation? They would handle it quickly, right? They won't let it get in the way of their future progress, and whoever needs to face the consequences will feel the consequences accordingly. You get what I'm saying? So like bosses, people who are in authority, people who know what they want, people who are in control of their environment, they do get ticked off. Don't get me wrong. They get ticked off. They get pissed. But they don't stop what they're doing just because something crosses their path. They deal with it because they don't have time to waste. And then they commence with what they were doing before. So right now is this is the time where you need to let go of these thoughts and all these, should I do it? Can I do it? Am I capable? Well, this person did that. It doesn't matter. You have to be a realist right now, Aries, and say to yourself, yeah, this sucks, this happened, but you know what? I really don't have time to waste right now. I want progress, and I need to pull this weed out. I need to remove the block. Because you're afraid here that you are fighting for something or someone that is not worth fighting for. It could be that you're defensive against this person as well. I don't think I mentioned that. It could be that you're also defensive against this person. And defensiveness, that's how it looks. Where you want to blame someone. You want to put the blame on someone. You want to tell them that they're the reason all of this is happening. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. Because I'm seeing here, Aries, it's affecting everything else in your life. It's connected to many other factors that are very important to you right now. It's slowing things down, and it's time to just cut it out. You know that you're powerful, so you need to just remind yourself why you're doing all of this. If it's career, why did you pick this career? And understand that this just comes with the territory, and just nip it in the bud. If this is a relationship, understand that if this was somebody who you knew their tendencies in the past and you agreed to take them back, or you were convinced by their lackluster offer that they would somehow change while you guys were together in this connection, there were facts that you saw and you acknowledged, and you were hoping for something better, but they didn't happen. But you still saw that information. You still saw those facts. You still made a decision for the long term based on these facts. So while it sucks and what you were hoping would happen didn't actually happen, that doesn't mean that you didn't have a part to play. So come to grips with that and realize that where you made a decision in the past that reaped you rewards that were kind of not what you wanted, But that means that you also have the power to make a decision to create distance where you must in this situation. Okay, you have that power. You have the power to get yourself into it. You have the power to create distance where you need to. So no more of this self-doubt, self-limitation, this I can't or I don't want to or when. Aries, listen, I understand, but it's not, okay? I feel like this has very little to do with what other people have done to you and more to do with the fact that you're just not where you want to be. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Take responsibility and finish the job the right way. Okay? All right. All right, Aries, I'm going to go. I love you very much. I am sorry for getting rough with you, but I get impassioned when I see that you know what's right for you. And you're letting that get in the way. You are powerful. Okay? Now is the time to step back into your power. Don't forfeit your power to anyone. No one deserves your power. Stay with your power. Step back into your power. Okay? All right, my loves. I love you very, very much, Aries. So I'm going to let you go. I apologize for the tough love, but at the same time I don't. So kisses, hugs, lots of love. I will talk to you later, okay? Have a fantastic month. I love you very much. Bye, Aries.